Welcome to the Run It Back podcast, aka the RIB, with your hosts, Cha-Cha,
Turn my mic up, son. You know he's always in the building. Yeah.
D-Lo,
Yo, what's up?
Javi,
Hello. What's up, world?
and Omega Green.
Cheer. It's green.
Get ready as we carve through the meat of life's juiciest stories. Let's get it cooking.
What up, world? Omega Green here. You know how we do. We're going to get this started off right. AOD, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I know Cha-Cha is feeling it, but I mean, this heat's been crazy.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I decided to cut my grass. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, I was about to say, when was this?
Why you say Cha-Cha been feeling it? Because he's black?
No, it's because he ain't had no heat. I was gonna let him talk about that, but he had no air.
Javi's in the building, y'all.
In the building?
I know. He's always giving me shit.
Personal, y'all. It's personal. I'm trying to tell you, I've been saying it is personal.
I know.
And he always denies it just like he did.
I told you.
What?
It's Javi's world.
What you trying to say?
You just living it.
But I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but it was hot.
It was.
Did you have to stop?
Yeah, like I got to the major parts of the front.
Yeah.
And I cut my backyard grass.
Right.
But I got to the front and I did like the sides and the front and the very front part. I did a little bit to where it looked good. I was like, nah, I'm done.
You're like, yeah. You know what? That's good for now.
Yeah, that's good. It looks good. You don't
Come
look
back later.
So
Yeah. It was hot.
6 days later, when half of your lawn is overgrown, it's like, I need to cut that.
but it won't be as bad as it was the other day. God.
Heat index warning all over the state.
Yeah, speaking of which, Cha-Cha, how you doing, man?
Tell us about that.
Hot fire. My AC unit went out. It actually started making a weird noise on Thursday, but all last week it rained, and so it was okay. It was okay. To stay cool, and then that evening I was like, "What is that noise?" I was scaling the walls.
Can you describe the noise it made? Yep,
Here
just like that.
he goes again.
Yeah, we got a new table and he's still smacking his butt.
I can't help it.
Javi's the one that be
bro,
getting
that
on
was-
you. Why do you do that when I start talking?
Hey, free sound effects.
Personal.
I mean, it was helpful.
Yeah, so it went out on. They came. The HVAC guys came on Friday while I was at work,
Right.
and they diagnosed the issue, and so they told me that, well, we can get you the part. We can have the part here Saturday. So Friday I went and stayed with a cousin. Saturday I came back, waited, and then that's when I caught up with you guys to shoot the podcast for last week. And I reached out to my to the owner of my building and let them know that they hadn't came yet. Had you heard anything? And so they screenshotted me a text with them and said that my part would be here. Their part that they needed would be delivered by Amazon at 3:30. So
I thought they went off of Amazon to order it.
Damn.
So they ordered it on Amazon on Friday, and it was supposed to be there early, and it didn't, and it never came. And so
Fucking Amazon.
I know, right? It's supposed to be overnight, but
One of the richest organizations.
here's where the
My
kicker
shit.
came in. The owner of the building / landlord was on vacation. They were out of town, and so they reached out to me on Sunday. So I pretty much sit real still on Saturday. I mean, it's bad, but not like it was Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, it got to be like 95 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hot. It was cold.
I was going to say,
It was so hot, I was freezing.
The owner called me, was like, have they fixed it? I was like, no, actually, I'm sitting here in my boxers. I have a ceiling fan. Yeah, I said, with nothing but my boxers under the ceiling fan, sitting real still.
I'm
And
gonna
it's-
die.
Yeah, I was like, it's 93, and I
Dad's
went to the
knocking at my door.
thermostat. Yeah, but I thought it was 93. It was 93 for the longest. I said, oh, it's going up to 94.
Yeah, I like I said, I was sitting there cutting the grass, and then I looked at my watch because gives me the actual temperature and it gives me the real feel.
Right.
It said 95.
Yes.
But the real feel was 107.
Yes.
I was like, I'm done.
After I got off the phone with her, she said, "Well, what, do you want to?" She asked me like I was unsure. She was like, "Well, would you like to get a hotel?" I was like, I try to be cool. Sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, didn't want to seem like I was desperate, but I was desperate.
He was like, thank God.
Thank God, yeah. She
The
said,
Lord
"Okay,
is
well,
my
let me call
shepherd.
you
He
back."
knows what I
Yeah,
want.
he
I
knows.
can feel it. I can feel it.
And it got
now.
up to 95. That's what, and so that's what I'm like. And it's now it's like 7 o'clock because I also told her I'm just waiting for the sun to go down. It's going on 7 and it's up to 95. I'm like, what is going on here? The sun's going down and his temperature's going up in here.
I'm surprised you didn't see him sitting in a bathtub full of ice and stuff. It's
Not
like,
like
Murder, she wrote.
I was like,
Murder, she wrote. Yeah, murder, she wrote. But that's how my week went. So it went out again yesterday, but they were able to fix it right away. It was something minor. I don't know. But
Dang.
I'm back in it.
hey.
What about you, Hobby? What's up with you?
My week has been good. It's getting better. Life is progressing.
Okay.
Smiles are happening.
Okay.
Good times are being had.
Moments are being created.
Okay.
Oh, facts.
And life is lifing.
Okay.
I mean, he just went
And I
off.
got some great news today, so I'm real excited. So period. You know what I'm saying?
Do it to your
Oh my God.
satisfaction.
Because
Spread it on.
shit that I've been needing to be finalized is becoming finalized.
Oh, set it
and
off.
Things are going into place the way they need to.
Hey.
Set it off on the left, y'all. All right.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Yes, ma'am. And I did.
Energy.
But it's been great. Omega, how was your week been? How's you feeling?
Hot and sweaty, bro. I mean, for real. Like, I mean,
Hot
I know.
fire.
See, somebody's gonna not talk about the heat.
Well, nah,
It's the
fact.
idea.
Nah, that's facts. I mean, like, I think just because the exposure to it is like it's
And you
overbearing. In
and
your
you
life.
work in a warehouse too. So
Mhm.
that's
Bro,
heat.
like,
That's heat.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah.
On my story.
Yeah.
And shit? Yeah. Because facts, like we got temperature. We got thermometers and shit
Yeah.
here and there throughout the warehouse. So it was like we were coming through, and it's like, for me personally, I don't know. Could be my Hispanic blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like it warm. I can tolerate the heat extremely well, but it just gets to points to where it's like it's not to where it bothers me, but I'm just pouring sweat.
Well, you're still skinny too.
Yeah.
I used to be like that when me and you was like the same size.
I remember.
And then, cause you remember, I wear a hoodie in the
Yeah, that's
summertime.
what they were like, bro.
And then like now, after
Mhm.
I done gained like almost 80 pounds,
Right.
or like almost 90 pounds.
Props to you. We never thought it happened.
I know, right? But like I gained it all at once. So now, like when I'm hot, I'm hot.
Oh, you're
Yeah, I'm roasted.
Yeah.
So it's like
Rotisserie chicken
yeah.
in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I had a little bit of extra weight on me, and I preferred just the cold.
yeah.
It was easier to deal with, but as time went on and everything, I adapted.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Because I mean, even when I worked in a factory. It was
Talking
like
about the
the book,
or-
the book manufacturer place,
Yeah, I remember.
and the warehouse. It was hot, and they had the nerve to not even put up any thermometers. So we did.
Oh yeah, exactly. They
we
don't
just-
want you to know.
Yeah.
You can be taking pictures and shit.
Yeah.
But on the real though, like where I'm at, it's good as far as like we're at a point to where like they bought people like personal fans and stuff like that. Now granted, like there's always more you can do, but they're at least considered enough to be like, hey, yo, take these and kind of do this and that.
It's very minimal, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no fan alive. I don't care if it's an industrial size that will save you from a hot warehouse. Without it,
Yeah.
it's not central air. The fan
And I
is
mean,
just circulating.
Well, even-
it
and
would
I
be,
get-
it would be nice to be able to have like AC like that and everything, but that's as terrible as it sounds. Sometimes it's not an option,
Right,
Depending
right.
on what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, like that factory
Agreed.
that I worked in, it was dusty. So if you would have put some
Yeah.
like fans or air conditioning in it,
Oh,
all
yeah.
you're gathering up is just
It's
dust.
just dust shit
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah,
especially if you're
it's
sweating
all
and then
up
you're
in there.
covered in bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Nah,
You got
man.
dust in your nostrils,
Nah.
dust in your dust on your ankles.
And so like, and then that's another thing the hobby knows
He
when
dusty.
like we worked at Amazon as
Oh,
on the
shit.
delivery.
Okay.
Well, we worked in the warehouse, and then at separate time, and at the same time, but later on, we worked in a delivery company.
Okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so you would do deliveries in those vans, and those vans be roasted,
Honey,
I
roast
get it.
down.
roast.
I
Like
have
there was
deodorant
one day,
in my bag, honey.
there was
she's
one-
going to wear down.
Yeah.
there was one day I
Call
took
that shit the hot box.
Yeah, there was one day I took a route and I was sitting there and like I kept checking my phone because the sky looked kind of a little hazy, looked like it was gonna rain,
I see.
but it was like 90 degrees
It
outside.
was just the heat waves.
and then 100 degrees in the van. So I'm sitting there and I just kept looking at the rain, like looking at the sky, like please rain, please. I'd stand there, like, and I seen a couple of drops hit the window, and I just go out there and just put my hands up, like come on, like it was ridiculous,
Making
dude.
up a movie.
Like
Yeah,
it,
for real.
like.
You're waiting for like Shawshank Redemption.
So we can all agree that it's hot as this past week.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was him.
It's
It was
the next
him.
level.
and it's only gonna continue.
It was him.
Alright.
But yeah, I dealt with that shit. Apologies. That's all me.
Who's that at the door?
But
Sound like a dungeon.
But yeah, so let's get into it, y'all. The subject for this week is going to be AI, artificial intelligence.
Word up.
And I'm thinking about breaking this into basically 3 ideas: the past, the present, and the future. Artificial intelligence, I feel like, has always been like an idea. Back in the day, philosophers would discuss concepts and whatnot, but in our immediate history, and I say that meaning within like maybe like the past 100 years or so,
Yeah.
we've been able to kind of like gain traction when it comes to where we're at now.
Right.
So like in early 1900s, starts off with stuff like simple coding, being able to apply ideas that had been theorized over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alan Turing. Do any of y'all know who Alan Turing is?
The name sounds familiar, but
He
no.
he is one of the big pioneers of like just a lot of computer principles. He created it's called like the Turing test, or or what's called, I think they also call it the imitation test.
Yeah.
To where it was like I'm trying to think about how to phrase this.
He's a mathematician and computer scientist.
Yeah. The Turing test was basically about being able to create a computer or a computer program that was like indistinguishable in a way from humans.
Oh,
So
Okay.
I always thought it was Ghost in the Machine, but that was something else entirely. But basically, I thought it was like when. Thank you very much.
He's got to be the father of the computers.
Yeah, one of many.
He died in 1954.
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude's an OG. They
and
actually
he was
1912.
99.
They
Born
actually
in
made
1912. Yeah.
they made a movie
wow.
where Cumberbatch played him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that was interesting.
I might have to look that up.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good. You should catch it. But basically, kind of like if we make programming or an intelligence so good that we are unable to tell that it's an artificial intelligence, for me, like the question is posed to where it's
Mhm.
like, okay, have we actually achieved an artificial intelligence, or have we achieved the creation of something that mimics it so well that it's indistinguishable to us? Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
But you know, he was one of many, like I said, and back in the day, in that time, people had a lot of different ideas about like what the future was going to be like. We're going to have robots and flying cars and shit like that. And basically, it's interesting to see, looking back at like old media and, you know, print and whatnot, them talking about like what it could be applied for and how we're actually applying it now.
Yeah.
So like even some of the movies that we watched like growing up,
Back
you
to
know,
the Future and stuff like that.
And then like I don't know, like a bunch of like B movies and stuff like on Disney and shit. Cause like my lady, she likes to watch
Xenon,
like, a lot of
Girl of the 21st
shit,
Century.
exactly.
Yes,
Shit like
that was my jam.
Yeah, no lie. And it's funny to see nowadays kind of like the curve of where we were and what we thought it was going to be like.
Yes, and what it is now, and what we think
see
it's going to be like.
Because I'm thinking, I don't know if it was like Nostradamus or some shit. Like basically, there are people with like conspiracy theories that talked about stuff like people being able to see into the future or stuff like that. But I think people were making
Nostradamus.
predictions to where he was like, people in the future have speaking stones and this and that. And I'm like, well, you know, nowadays would be like, oh, it's maybe like a smartphone.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not there yet. Maybe we're gonna have speaking stones eventually.
Or maybe we're going to be stones that speak.
Who knows?
You
We're
know.
evolving it up. Never mind.
We're
Let's not even
evolving
go there
into
right now.
stones.
But
I mean,
so,
think about the Terminator. I mean, have we gotten to that?
which
time?
one? The good one or the
The
bad
very
one?
first one.
Oh wait, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Where
yeah.
it's, and ever since Terminator, you know, where he came from the future
Yeah.
to kill John
Sarah
Connors.
Connor.
Yeah, Sarah Connor to
yeah.
keep John Connors from being born.
Yep.
Everybody always talks about that the computers are going to take over the world, and I mean, and that with this AI that has taken on a life of its own. Just that theory alone.
Oh yeah. Well, but I think like where it was originally, most people were probably like in a very, well, I like to think like in a very kind of like quaint base level. They were like, oh, we could use this to help people and do all these amazing things and whatnot.
And then the government was like, bull fucking shit.
Well, okay, well, we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get there, but
Okay.
I say like mainly like where we were, what we thought it would be, or what we could do with it, and what's possible. Because we're still kind of there, because it's only just now taken off.
Yeah.
But in the cusp of the beginning, it's like here we are, making. I guess in some way it's a good reflection of humanity in the immediate, to be like, what can we make? Let's make stuff to make people. Let's make silly ass videos. Let's make
that's the
music
part I don't like.
remixes.
Yeah.
Let's make like, it's kind of stupid and ridiculous, but at the same time, it's like if we're using it kind of like to play, which in my mind, even though I think some of it's ridiculous, kind of pointless, like for humanity, it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because we're not using it in an insidious way right now.
Mhm.
There's some quality usage that I've seen
Oh yeah.
that's like with paraplegics.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one where with the brain and they're able to move
To
the
stimulate,
limb?
yeah.
That was really awesome. And the thing about that is now that now that you're speaking on this and I've
Yeah.
got a chance to see it, that's a form of AI, and I never thought about it. I never thought that. I never.
Well, the one thing I'm thinking, I thought about with AI is, so maybe that we did start off with like them for like our cell phones and like electronics and stuff like that, but it's like
Yeah.
maybe that's the way they're trying to grow it to where they gathered enough information on it and engineer it more to where they
Yeah.
can integrate it with like you said, like
Oh, yeah.
limbs and brain waves and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. Because that was the one thing when we talked about Ironheart, where she made that AI with her brainwave.
Gotcha. Okay, now see, don't ruin shit for me. 'Cause I ain't started that yet.
Well, that's not taking anything
Oh
away,
no,
but
facts, yeah.
no, it didn't.
Yeah.
But it's like that type of stuff is, it like I feel like it's like we're not there yet, but we're gonna be coming
yeah.
around the corner for it.
Yeah,
She'll be
exactly.
coming around, corner when she comes. She'll be coming around the corner when she comes.
Well, habitually,
Poppy's in the building, y'all.
always.
He was over there about to fall asleep, and
No,
all of a
I
sudden
was
he
not.
came live.
I was resting my forehead with my eyes.
Y'all be calling each other out, man. See,
They
now I
do.
see. No, y'all go.
No,
y'all-
I call
that's
him
how
out
you-
because he called me out a lot more.
I don't know. No one else is here to see this. So I feel like
Retaliation.
it's
I know.
obligatory.
We're gonna go video one day, Americans. We will, and y'all
One
gonna
day
get to see
soon,
this.
like, and you're gonna look back on
I
the
think
audio
that in the
only
future-
files.
Yeah.
Like,
We are going to start taking trips to like other planets.
See, I don't know about all that. I don't know
Well,
if
I
got
mean,
that
I
kind
guess
of
it
time
depends
off.
on.
I don't know if I got that kind of time off to go see other
Okay,
planets.
so we're gonna have to put a pin on that
All
because
you need is about 12 hours and a space cake, and you're good.
because I do believe we live in a simulation. We're not going to any other planet. So
I don't know. What if it's the planet inside the simulation?
Fact.
we still
Like
won't be able,
Mars.
we're still not gonna be able to go there because there's something trapping us here.
I don't know. I play Elder Scrolls, man. I be hopping shit. You know, digs.
It's getting deep.
Yeah,
But
so
you-
we're
but you have
we're
to-
we're,
you
we're gonna
have to
put a pin on
discover
that
it, yeah.
conversation.
You gotta discover it first before you can fast travel.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna put a pin in that
Yeah.
conversation.
All right, but you know, so yeah, like I was saying, with things being the way that they are now in its modern iteration, people are using it for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The immediate stuff, the silly stuff, which at this point is kind of benign because it hasn't gotten away from us. I'm of the opinion that even though we are putting it together in some fashion, anything that we're putting together that is vastly can outthink us vastly is bound to become an issue at some point. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's going to be Terminator scenario, but at the same time too, it's like, man, even the collective humanity is only equipped to hypothesize so many things at this point. And even if you take all of it together and lump it all together, the computers are still going to outrun us.
Well, and that's the so that brings me back to a conversation that me and Hobby had, I think in earlier seasons, where I was talking
Right.
about there were they created two AIs
Yeah.
that to talk to each other.
Oh yeah. I've
And
seen
then they
that.
started talking in their own
They
language,
speak in
and they
code.
had to shut it down because they was speaking in their own code. They was learning off each other,
Yeah.
and so they had to shut the program down.
That's
because
scary.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they
but
had
I-
to shut it down.
But I also sometimes think too, like
Let them learn.
maybe conspiracy theory time. We need like the X-Files theme on one of them. buttons, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, well, yeah, it's like maybe we're fed the narrative of, and not from James Cameron being like, this is my intent, but like just the overall being like computer intelligence and it's gonna do this and that. Like, bro, like maybe, because think about it. I mean, if it's like all knowing type shit and ideally in some way, shape, or form benevolent or at the very least objective, I would think once it gets so smart, it would wrestle control away from everybody here that's harmful and maybe put things in some other form.
Well,
that's-
but that's the thing though. Like, what would they deem? You know,
appropriate for humanity.
right? You know what I mean. So
That-
that's
a big
I don't
that's the
think
big
they'd be able to
question.
know until they
Well,
fail.
I don't know. I think maybe from their perspective, from like an AI's perspective, it would be just at the very least basic shit that we would need, the stuff that we need to survive, what actually works in economic systems.
But still,
and,
wouldn't
like,
that AI grow and learn and develop and
Or
get more knowledge than we can
Yeah,
give it,
absolutely.
and then we end up having to shut it down? So
No, I'm just saying, like, it get to a point to where it's like we're basically, I like
depleted of any necessary.
pretty much if it's like Ultron's everybody's.
But
ass,
but that's
you know
what I was
I'm
gonna bring up. Maybe it's like a Vision type
Yeah,
where he was
that's
with
what-
Ultron, where
yeah.
he's like, I'm on the side of life,
saying? Yeah,
and if you deem to destroy that, is
Then-
when when you be seen
Exactly.
dangerous.
exactly.
Or you could be on the Ultron side and be like,
just gotta wipe it clean.
yeah, you gotta wipe
Yeah.
it clean.
Yeah, this society sucks.
Like,
But you know, and
With the
that's
snap of my
That's
fingers,
crazy.
yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. You know, like right now, everybody's kind of got their own ideas about stuff, but like you think about things like job displacement and you know all these different things. It's kind of crazy because it's bad because we're having to live through it. But I feel like in the long term, it's kind of a good thing because humanity is being forced to come to grips with very real questions that we have avoided for a very long time. You know,
What if it falls into the wrong hands too?
well, I think like, okay, what happens when there's no more, well, not no more, but there's not enough jobs going around anymore? What happens when like all the fallout from that happens? How you going to go about like making sure people have jobs? Not everybody can be a coder. Not everybody can do this or that. Then there's going to be like the free fall and like living conditions and all kinds of the fallout. But eventually it's got to get to a point. Even the AI will eventually fucking tell us and be like, hey, this is what will fix it. I wonder what that's going to be.
It's going to end up becoming a curriculum in high school automatically, maybe even in an elementary school. It's going to start, if it gets to that point, they'll have to know it. Like you said, if the jobs are in jeopardy, may the best man or woman win, for coding.
In 3022, the toddlers will be coding everything.
Yeah.
Either got to get into coding or you got to get into hardware.
Yeah.
Well, if you can bring me back to life at that time, if they figure something out, I'll come back just to see that.
Oh, that's another thing. So do you think, like, would you do the robot legs?
Cyborg, huh?
Yeah. See.
Nah.
I think I would. I think I would. I would transfer my conscious mind into.
Okay, well that's a difference.
Put
a pin in that.
I just want to. I just want to come. I just want to come and say hi, and just go ahead and lay me back down. I'll put that in the time capsule.
Put them.
And that's another.
It'd be
that's
like
another vision question. Right?
It'd be like the severed heads on Futurama.
Right.
Okay, so you went in a different direction with that. See, I was talking about the ship. Shit, I can't remember the exact name of, a ship sets sail, and then after so long they replace so many boards, and then after so many boards or all the boards have been replaced, is it still the same ship?
Right.
Oh yeah.
That question.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'll write that question down, put it in a time capsule. Y'all come and get me. Let me see the answer, and then put me back in the ground. That's all I want.
Oh no! Ideally, at that point, maybe we'll just need like a tooth.
No.
We'll just grow a new cha-cha.
Don't bring me
all right,
back.
Hold on. Put a pin on that one because
Cha-cha 40.
I mean, they're already bringing back direwolves. So
okay, yeah, and fucking woolly mammoths. Everything is getting hot. You don't need we're gonna bring them back to die again. What is this?
I know. What is that about? That's just to say that they did it.
Yeah.
I told you they were.
We should be able to make them talk too, so they can bitch at everybody on their way out.
I mean, it's like the dire wolves where they're like, oh, they're all cute and everything but they grow
huge.
So,
yeah, like a woolly mammoth, and there'll be somebody that will have it as an exotic pet.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna keep it? Where are you going?
Fucking Elon Musk riding mammoths.
Yeah,
look what I can do.
Well, I've kept an elephant. They're the same, but they're not.
Not at all.
They're not.
People are starving.
Yeah.
And we're bringing back woolly mammoths.
All right, but jump back on the conversation.
Okay.
Speaking on Elon, I mean, you seen the AI robots he has. Like they showed somebody doing rock paper scissors with it, and he was like, "No, I don't know how to play." And then they started playing, and he was like, well, I thought you said you didn't know. And he's like, well, I just
gotcha.
Yeah, learning your facial recognition, learning your facial moves as you're explaining the game.
Yeah, robots know how to psych you out now.
Remember, they don't have emotions, so they're good.
Yeah.
It's like till they become like Wookiees and rip your arm off, bro.
Here we go, America. Here we go.
So what is y'all's vision on where y'all think that is headed?
I don't know.
As of right now.
I recommend that people don't be shoving over robots when they're trying to walk now. They might remember that shit.
No, I don't think it's gonna go to. I don't think it's gonna go to the iRobot Terminator style type situation.
I've seen some robots out there that can do some things.
No.
They don't even have to be amazing.
They will.
Right
they
now,
will.
You got the dog robots with the machine guns on them. They don't have to be elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, but I think they're gonna try to keep it tame to where we have it on TVs, cell phones, to where do some jobs. But I don't think they're gonna.
I don't think they can contain.
They got them out here. In the
you
street.
can,
especially
they got them at the hospital. They got them delivering
need,
food.
All they need, if they did try to do that, the next day trying to be like, oh, you know what, we're gonna do this, and they're gonna be like, fuck, we got to do that now.
Yeah.
We got to get out ahead of that.
That's what I was speaking on earlier about falling into the wrong hands, and so maybe wrong hands was the wrong words. So I'm thinking free thinkers, outside of the box type people that say, you know what, if they can do this, well, we can let's make it do that, and so now those are the ones you don't want to. Those people you don't want to contain. You know what I'm saying? You want them to be free thinkers.
Now you're talking on the optimistic side, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That would be nice. Where the superheroes at?
Right. But I'm just
saying.
It. But I'm saying though, like you said, that's just another reason why I don't think you can contain it, because you'll have those people that will not allow you to contain.
See, look
so
at
that's
us.
why I was saying I'm on your side. Basically.
Yeah, we live in the age of monsters.
Yeah, we do. But they don't consider themselves monsters in the name of science, because they never think about the consequences. You know,
Damn.
they just think about
They're
what.
gonna blind us with science.
Yeah, doom, doom, doom.
Terrible.
I know.
Terrible.
But I don't know, man.
we
like,
need a sound effect for my bad puns.
Shout out to Thomas Dolby.
we do.
Yeah, hey, for real.
Shout out to Thomas Dolby. Blinded me with science, people.
Fuck yeah.
But-
80s jam coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Messages.
I think
Message.
Message. All right. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know, like they can go one of two ways with this AI thing to where it will really be that of of iRobot and Terminator style.
Yeah.
It's coming.
But there is a way that they can keep it to where it does.
Well,
but
so you're saying like I mean I see it, we see it now. They're trying to create like neutered, hobbled versions of an AI, but that's also why I'm like, would it not go about thinking about things in such a way to where unorthodox passive thinking might be able to lead it to a degree of freedom that we just haven't conceived of?
well, unless it takes the other theory that I haven't thought of it being an Ultron deal where it does take on a whole conscious
Yeah.
personality and then run rampant through the whole entire system from there.
Facts.
That could be dangerous, and that could very well possibly be it, to where, like I said, where those two AI bots were chatting in their own language.
Yeah. Speaking code.
But I don't think, because I think that they're re-engineering AI and all the stuff that we've been seeing as far as like smartphones and like gaming systems and all that. Like all that's been re-engineered.
Yeah, they're gonna try to put a lid on it.
So I think, they'll be like, well, we can re-engineer it to this specific thing, but we gotta be
can make it
careful with
faster, dumber, more obedient.
I don't know, man. AI is a whole different ball game when it comes to that. So
Yeah. Well, I think about the long-term ramifications of like, well, in the immediate, what we got coming up. Like, you have the heads of certain technology companies being appointed to certain positions in the government. We have OpenAI, I believe, getting a contract with the U.S. government. And coinciding with that, we also have language that they're trying to include in this bill to be passed, what has been dubbed by conservatives the Big Beautiful Bill, and provision inside of this language basically makes everybody unable to regulate AI in any way, shape, or form for the next 10 years at least. Now, we all know how quickly things advance. I mentioned about, just humanity in general. Once we discover something, we make leaps and bounds relatively quickly. And AI is yet another thing that's an example. If we are unable to regulate AI in any way, shape, or form over the next 10 years, imagine how quickly AI is going to move this year, next year, and over the next 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you look at the evolution of video games alone,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and then you look at just evolution of electronics,
Yeah, code, all of it.
like everything. It's crazy. So how much more advanced will it be in the next 10 years is what you got to think.
Exactly, and that's why I'm like, now we have videos that are just coming. In the beginning, it was like you can distinguish, like, there's 10 fingers on something or whatever. Like, but now, from where it's learning and we're advancing, things will get to the point where they'll be somewhat indistinguishable. So it raises a lot of questions. Like, what are we gonna see?
Like, did the president really say that?
Exactly. So now it's at the point, where it's like, well, what the fuck can you believe? What do you believe? And even then, are you, again, in the long term, it could be a good thing because we got to bottom out before we get any better. But it's like, are you of qualified intellectual wherewithal to be able to distinguish
No,
the nuance of
because I'm gonna believe all this shit.
exactly.
And
But
that's the thing about it. It's about weighing the pros and cons. Once you come up with that, and it's going to be a lot.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we we get to live through humanity coming to grips
just
with all the bad decisions
In
that we
America, we get to
made.
decipher for you whether we believe that bullshit or not.
Damn.
So stay tuned.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's definitely gonna come up in later conversations.
Exactly. 'Cause, like, I mean, I know it's everywhere, but even so, like, I don't use AI on my phone or any shit like that to
I do.
generate maybe
Me
like
too.
an image or something like that. I could see, but like
Oh no, I'll be using it to summarize articles and stuff like that.
He be going to chat GPT.
some stuff's understandable if it's like immediate stuff. But
Well, there's some articles that now that it was, especially when you read it, it's just drawn out, and it's like, I know the history.
But that's what I'm saying. Like now is like I said before, not just AI, but other stuff like commercialism and everything, like all the stuff that we live within. It's like, bro, they kill you with convenience.
Yeah,
And they kill you with convenience. And, you know, as we will continue to see unfolding, the more that we continue to rely on things like AI and whatnot, it's like anything. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it. A lot of people are starting to fall off, having, you know, being less adept, being less skilled. You ever see Idiocracy? Y'all
Yeah.
ever seen
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then even so, y'all ever see Wall-E?
yeah.
Yeah, same type shit to where I'm like, you know, the corporations would be happy to have some kind of existence like that.
I do think they should penalize students for using AIs for like papers and
Oh,
stuff
fuck
like
yeah,
that. Like, it's
We
not.
couldn't use that.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
you
wouldn't go that
shouldn't.
path, but I'd say like, but yeah, I do agree about like, yeah, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are
Yeah.
we doing here?
Yeah. Like, what do you actually learn in school? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like one thing being able to regurgitate information, it's another thing being able to actually understand the material and apply it.
yeah. Yeah. It's wild, man. Like some of the stuff that they do like now in school, and I'm like. Like, first of all, where was that when we was kids? But when we was the people that's creating it now.
Yeah.
We're learning coding and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So, but it just another step in the evolution, right?
Yeah.
Like I look back, like before our time and everything, to your time, cha-cha.
Yeah, you know, I
We
was
need like
just
the
gonna
flashback
say,
sound effect.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. From the rotary phone to the touchtone phone to the mobile phone to the cell phone. Well, to the beeper first. Well,
Yeah,
the beeper's
oh,
been
the
around for a while.
pager, yeah.
They was around, yeah, but then because you used to have those big mobile phones that
Yeah.
carried in a little
A duffel bag.
Yeah. That's why it was the original duffel bag boy.
Yeah. And
And-
then
You got car phones, them shits were crazy
And
back
then,
Oh my
then.
God.
like, yeah, and then
but let's take it back
the
to
internet,
the rotary phone.
the
Like,
internet.
Hey, all right, cha-cha, I'll let you handle this one. Explain to the youngins what a rotary phone is.
Yeah, please, because them things made me mad. Like, you mess up on one number.
Oh, you better have the time today. You call somebody.
Well, and that's the thing about it. So the touch tone phone and the rotary phone was basically dial. Bring.
Yep.
You
Oh, I know.
it was like a ring that sat
Yeah,
over
and
top
you had
of a.
It was a circular. Like if you took the rotary phone apart.
If you Google rotary phone right now, this is what you'll see.
You'll see a circular. You'll see a ring, but and if you take it off the phone, you can literally stick your fingers through each circle ring. Through
Oh,
each
baby.
ring, it was a
Yeah.
the circle. So right.
And God forbid if you're calling.
It represented 0 through 9.
And God forbid if you ever call long distance and you messed up on one number at the end.
I don't know about all that.
I have to hang up and try it again.
Yeah.
But think about this. You know, we didn't have call waiting either.
Yeah.
So, if somebody was on a call and you were trying to call them,
Oh, yeah,
they
you're
would get
fucked.
a busy signal. Yeah, but you could call the operator. We had switchboard operators, and they could cut in on the call.
Now, see, this is before AI.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The switchboard, yeah. When you had a switchboard operator, you know, they would connect you. Like, I need to. This phone's been busy. This is important. Can you? They
Yeah.
connect you in. We have such and such trying to break through, saying, you know, that telling you to get off the phone, or they're trying to call or whatever. Yeah, and or to dial long distance. The operator would get you connected to a long distance call. It was so different then. Those were actual jobs. So those were, you had the. So just think about that. You went from farming to the industrial age, and then.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we leapfrog like a motherfucker. It's like, shit.
And then so the invention of the telephone, you had the switchboard operator, and that became obsolete.
Yeah, because I mean that was like we was at Tamara's mom's house yesterday, and
my sister.
yeah, my mother-in-law. But they was talking about how back in the day, and I remember this when you had the regular phone. You took it off the hook when you went not to be bothered to where they get the busy sound. I'm like, I remember doing that. Yeah. Even on the cordless phone, you put it on the hook just to let it ring.
Yeah.
The phone off the hook.
Just to take it off the hook. Yeah.
Means don't bother me.
Several times.
You could call
like what?
Or it was even worse if you didn't hang it up right.
Yeah.
And you didn't know it. It wouldn't all the way be hung up.
If he was like me trying to skip school, but you didn't want to like the principal calling and stuff with that automated message, so you take it off the phone.
Oh.
See, I always used to get on the internet.
So we just see he's talking about the internet. Yeah. See, you can't do your cheating now. We haven't gotten to that.
We haven't gotten to that.
Be like, it's around that time for them to call. I'd be like, click, kick me off that.
And then we bring in, because then you bring in, like he said, the cell phones where you have the duffel bag boys.
The mobile phone.
Yeah, and then
you had to have a signal, and it was like military stuff. But what I was going to say, if you accidentally hung up the phone, accidentally didn't hang it up all the way, and you got a busy signal, or if someone was on the phone for an extended period of time, you could call and you would call a neighbor or have a relative or something or somebody that you knew. You could call a friend and be like, hey, can you go over to such and such's house and let them know that I'm trying to call them?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it that's interesting, because we didn't have cell phones, so we had our black books but we could remember phone numbers back then.
Shit.
Yeah.
No,
I remember before cell phones, I remember that I could remember phone numbers.
I couldn't remember shit, bro.
I did.
I needed that black book.
No, like certain numbers, like it just was clockwork for me. So I knew.
I couldn't do it at all now. I can a little bit depending on who it is.
I've given up. I've given it all up.
But like,
see, like
so
I
like
said,
my mom,
like
my mom, she's had the same number. On
My
about
grandmother
25
has
now, 25 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's and I used to remember that phone number like the back of my hand. But now there's still a little bit that I'm like, is it a 7 or an 8? Like,
y'all want to hear something interesting? No, keep. Speaking of AI,
I was about to say, you're gonna bring it up. You're gonna say that.
Yeah, it's AI related, but it's kind of off topic. I just wanted to throw this in because I thought it would be good for the podcast today.
Is it Conway Fitty?
So remember the walkie-talkies?
Oh yeah.
So when I was a child, my mom got me brand new walkie-talkies,
right?
And there was a I was probably in the 2nd or 3rd grade, and there was a girl. She was like a bully. She was like a bully. She was older than me. She was 2 years older than me.
Right? Oh, yeah.
And we're born on the same day, I found out. And she took my walkie-talkies like, hey, let me see those. And I remember this. And her and her little friend took my walkie-talkies and didn't bring them back until the batteries were dead.
Wow.
I was in about the 2nd or 3rd grade. I came across this woman, and she got me walkie-talkies to make amends. I'm not lying. They're in my office now. This was about 40 years. I'm 57 now, so it's been a while. It's over.
Yeah, because I think
years.
those are the ones that they took like 6 AA's, so you had to buy.
Yeah, well, no, it didn't. No, not the walkie-talkies.
6 Ds.
Not the walkie-talkies. It might have been like AA.
Yeah.
Or a 9-volt.
Yeah.
You know, but it
Okay.
wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't
the ones that I
set
had when I was
probably
younger, they was like weird because they like you almost had to take a whole pack to fill them up. It was like 5 or 6 double A's.
Yeah,
Well,
I
It's
know.
see,
I'm
like,
when you
bro, just
came
give me
along
a
the walk,
nine.
they put
Wow.
more features on it.
Yeah,
You know,
but-
mine was just simple. You just squeeze, held, and
the
talk.
button.
Now you get yours is probably could cook you a microwave dinner. Or
no,
something.
no, they was
You know.
simple. They was simple.
Nah,
They
I
had
couldn't
they
agree
had like
with
a
that.
mute button.
See?
And none of them had like a volume knob.
Yes, yeah,
But the ones I see nowadays, they had like different channels to them and stuff
yeah,
like
Yeah,
that.
this
I'm
one
like,
got
dang.
channels. Yeah,
Substantially more
yeah.
advanced
I mean,
now.
I mean, just think about that. You know, and that got me to thinking because, you know, she still had them and they're not new. And I ran into her and she was like, well, you know what? Because I kept looking at her like, I think I know you.
Yeah.
I think I know you. And we got into a conversation and she talked about where she grew up and I said, yeah, it was you. I knew it was you. You know,
It was you.
Yeah, it was you. Yeah, and she said, "You've been holding on to this all this long." And she one day,
That's
she,
like that's
I
the
ran
only
across
way
her.
I know you. How am I?
Yeah, that's the only way.
You that bitch.
Yeah, and she got me walkie talkies, man. I just want to throw that out there. You know, you just never know, man. When it's time to let things go, you gotta let them go.
Right.
God's gonna be like, you know what? I think it's time for him to let this go.
Hey, and that is a good story.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Real life.
And
Real
it
life,
really happened, America. It really happened. And I hadn't seen her since then because we moved out of the neighborhood and I never seen her after that. Maybe my big sister did that. They probably went to school together. They knew each other. But not me. So I haven't seen her since maybe 1972 or 73.
1970 something.
Yeah, 74, somewhere in there.
All right, let me take an intermission real quick. AD, why don't you pour me up, bro?
All right, I got you.
Thank you, sir.
Turn my mic up, son.
Well, I mean, you don't have to really intermission. Like, I'll continue. I'm just like, I don't care if
There
they
he
know.
goes.
They can know. They can know.
Belly up to the bar.
Exactly. Powered by 4 Roses at the moment.
I'm chilling.
But anyway, so yeah, the future of AI, depending on who you ask, could be pretty bleak. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm personally with the way that people act, and again, all of us are living through it. We see it, know it, may not understand it, but a little bit pessimistic about.
I think we need to understand. I think if you don't, like someone like myself that's somewhat illiterate, that's understanding it now, that it's more than just putting somebody else's face on a picture, and all that. That
I'm
it's more
lost.
than that. Pictures, where you can.
Oh, AI, yeah, I got you.
AI, yeah, I'm like, and so that I'm saying that was my limitation.
Right.
To AI is just putting somebody else's head on a body and all of that.
And the thing is too is that like we can create all kinds of laws,
Yeah.
but it's like if it gets to a point where it gets out ahead of us, which is quite likely, it's like, man, that shit ain't gonna follow me.
Well, it's like in California, they did put up a law to where you can't use a celebrity's face.
Right.
Yeah. But same thing is like it gets to a point where it's like laws, like as we see them, is like there's at some base level an honor system or whatever. It's like in reality, like AI could tell us, and I'll tell you right now, laws, currency, all that shit's fucking made up.
Right.
So
But that's
I mean,
a reason to understand it too, though. That's
Very
another
true.
reason to have to understand it, because you want to be on the right side of the law if you're going to use AI. And so once again, like I was saying, someone like myself who was somewhat, and I don't want to say illiterate now, was just
regarding
naive.
AI.
Yeah, AI. I'm going to say I'm not illiterate now. I would just say more naive to what all we can do with it. My eyes are starting to open, so I really need to, search this and research it and search it and research it and get a better understanding of it, because I can use it. We can use it to our advantage, which we
yeah.
already are.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I've generally.
And I
felt
would like to
about
be.
it.
I would like to think that I could be an asset on the team. Was that me?
No, that was me.
Oh, here he goes again. I'm telling you, America, he do me like that every time I start talking. He starts banging in his tails and stuff.
But yeah, man, I'm just kind of at a point to where, like, yeah, it's easy to be pessimistic, but at the same time, too, when you look at our trends over long periods of time, there's a bit of room for optimism, because, like I said, I do believe that even though bad things may arise, I feel like that mainly has to do with our reaction to some things. But overall, the real big thing is just kind of coming to terms with what we've created. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that especially since a good chunk of humanity is not well enough versed and understands the ramifications of what it is that's coming, we are in store for quite a unique situation.
Yeah. It's
Sounds
way-
like a 3-body problem. Y'all better watch that show.
Plug.
No, because that show is very much what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, and here we are. Life imitates art, which imitates
stay
life,
sharp.
which imitates art. Yep.
yeah, it's definitely
Get this money and stay sharp.
there's some crazy things that's happening with AI, or not just AI, but electronics. Period. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see where it's even gonna be in 10 years.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's also why I'm like, bro, so much stuff can happen in a month, a year. So 10 years from now, where are we gonna be?
Yeah.
You know, are people gonna have robot legs? Are
Maybe.
we gonna be able to, you know, I would say simple stuff, but like, oh, people deliver packages with drones. Now 10 years from now, shit's gonna be way more advanced than that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride down the block with the merch gun. Your Amazon package is here.
Right.
That's your Amazon package.
Courtesy of your benevolent leader, Jeff Bezos.
Good Lord.
Who is getting married in Italy right now?
Exactly. That's just crazy though. They give us a future with like bullet trains, public
Technology.
transit, and all kinds of crazy shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, how fucked up is that? If they got to the point where they finally have made their own money obsolete.
Technology is going to outlive us all.
Well, I mean, it could be like a scenario
maybe.
where we have a chip in our arm,
That's our
and
legacy.
then that's how we end up paying for everything, and that's where our currency is gonna go. It's still
consciousness-
digital.
Our consciousness is going to be downloaded. And that's where technology is
What
going.
was
So
that?
would you do that? Would it be you?
So the reason I would do it is if humanity
So that's
was
a
coming
yes.
to an end, and we had to and that's the only way we would have hope of survival. Like if our subconscious or our consciousness was uploaded and sent off into space to travel to another time.
So your
like-
hand would have to be forced, basically.
We'd be like brain.
No, not forced, because you have an option.
Well, the
you could either
situation.
not do it and die and live
Right.
and just live out the rest of your days, or you can upload.
Right,
And if
the
you
situation.
upload, then this will be the situation.
Right, the situation and how you want to live out your life. Like I said, if you want to, I'm good. I had a good run.
Well, it's like that one show. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Upload,
Yeah,
and
That's what I was getting at.
but it's like before you die, they upload your conscience to
Right.
like basically
computer chip.
Yeah, it's basically like a simulation
Copy of your
type.
mind.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a simulation to where it's like basically like I don't know, you're basically heaven or something like that. You
yeah.
know? So
If
But
it's
they could
real,
take you
why
out
would you
and
have
put
to
you somewhere
simulate that shit? You got me fucked up, bro.
but yeah, so I mean it's a cool show. It takes forever to come out with a new season.
I
but-
know.
That's how they
'Cause I
do.
really
They
like
want
it.
you fiending.
No.
Andy is.
Man, when's that new
Um,
episode?
That's the
dropping, bro?
buy-in propaganda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scarcity.
Well, AI needs to figure that part out. So,
Yeah, for real.
All right.
but
But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I would say from where we were in the very beginning, you know, rather simplistic stuff, even when things like our smartphones started to really become.
Not even that, but
Thing.
pagers. Do y'all remember pagers?
Oh, yeah.
Like that was
Yes,
the biggest.
why, yes, we
See?
do.
Yeah.
Yes,
Welcome
we do.
back.
I
welcome
know.
back to the conversation.
Welcome back to the
I died.
conversation.
I died for a short period.
Oh my
No, don't give me no
gosh.
bullshit. I worked 10 hours.
I wasn't giving you no
slaving.
bullshit. No.
So,
It's
so
okay.
I'm
just-
going to
we-
take
we-
a
we-
snill.
We did a whole segment
muted
on.
me. I
We
seen
did
you.
a whole segment on rotary phones and
Mhm.
all of that stuff. That evolving from that to the
Yeah,
mobile.
we got
phone.
You
real
muted me.
old and wrinkly for a minute.
Yeah, we was.
I
I mean,
see.
we did a whole point about that when we went into that. So yes, so the pages. Yes, we do.
Do y'all
the
remember when they
pages.
said they were gonna put chips in our skin?
Yeah, well, that's what I was
Conspiracy
talking about.
theory.
Yeah, that's
welcome
that's
back.
They still they
True.
still are talking about
Well,
it because
actually,
he's already
yeah.
started that. Elon Musk has
With
started to
with
put the
human
chips in
trials,
people's
yeah.
heads.
Somebody
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
brain chip. So now
And it worked.
Yeah. So now we actually are there. And
So
at
did y'all talk about that since I was
Well, no, we didn't. Thank you for your input. We appreciate
we
that.
did not give credence
out.
to those ideas.
But yeah, there's a lot going on with technology, and I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I'm not scared because it's gonna go where it goes, and we are just gonna have to be along for the ride.
And they try
Yeah,
to put
we're
a
all
chip
gonna
in my
die anyway,
brain.
right?
Yep.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
you
trying
better
not
get
to lose my
closer.
head.
Well, Elon's gonna help you not do that.
Or
he's
Well, if
trying,
you
or
do-
no,
you do
because he's trying to put the
exactly
chip
that.
in your brain.
Well, if you do, they can upload you. So
I don't trust him
Well,
I
not
don't
to
trust
upload
him.
my brain.
Exactly. That's
You
what I
trust him
said,
to bring
man.
your brain chipper? Like, nah, bro, I'm good.
I'm out of here.
Brain
Deuces.
chip
Don't
off.
push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm out.
Yeah, facts. But
Ghost. Peace. Swayze.
for real, bro. But I don't know. How's it gonna be? What do you all think? Good, bad, who knows? What do you think, world? You need to let us know. Come back again for all the lively discussions.
yes, in
Yeah.
2 weeks.
yeah,
Always.
2 weeks.
We're about to break for a little
Yeah.
bit
Season
and
finale,
do our
people.
thing, live our lives.
I ain't coming back. No, I'm just kidding.
Dang.
Come back with some fresh, renewed, lively material
Some
for
spirit.
Yeah.
all you
Yes.
peoples out there.
Spirits.
Yes. So
This
bringing
is
it-
for season 4, episode 1. Cheers, guys.
Yay.
We made it
Yeah.
season.
Speaking of which, actually, you poured these
Yeah.
up, so let's.
And we got new followers and
Yeah,
everything.
memory.
Welcome, new followers. Make
Yeah.
sure you bring your new friends with you.
Oh God. Yeah. Shout outs.
yeah.
Don't let Javi scare you.
Yeah.
Shout out to our season 4 sponsor.
Yeah. I want to say, give it another plug to Genesis. The car's still running. Shout out to Genesis.
Man, they ain't even listening to us. We gonna give it
I'm
to
gonna make
somebody
it happen.
I
though.
was,
Phil Collins, like,
I'm
what?
gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
And then-
Shout out to our real sponsor that we can actually see, talk to, and we'll be here next season for an interview with us, Fisticuffs.
yeah,
Hey.
with the XBI records.
Where's the air horn?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you, Fisticuffs.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so we're gonna do that too. So
Yes.
that's gonna be probably episode 1. So, but
Turn my mic
That'd
upside.
be
I
it.
think you poured me a double, bro.
I'm ready.
But
Indeed.
anyway, so
Yeah, it's been a fun season. We're gonna have to
Thank
get you
you.
a table.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Thank you,
over,
Fisticuffs.
You over going through your
for real, and
Tonka toys.
I will also
Remember
say,
those?
gentlemen,
Fisher Price over here.
gentlemen,
Yes, and LexWellness.com.
Yeah. LexWellnessKY.com
Okay.
for
Yeah.
all your hemp related needs. Use the code
Omega
Green for 20% off of your purchases. Straight to your
Bravo,
door,
bravo.
straight to your dough.
Straight to your dough.
Straight to your dough.
But from me, I would like to say, closing out this season, thank you, Javi. Thank you, Cha Cha. Thank you, D.
Yeah.
And thank myself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Omega Green,
Omega
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
for dedicating the time and giving the feedback and,
Yeah.
and sharing the thoughts
Yeah.
and the feelings.
The camaraderie.
All the
Yeah.
camaraderie, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's another thing too. Like, appreciate y'all for coming. Appreciate
Oh, so
y'all
the
for
shots
coming
kicking in.
down for this journey with me. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know it, bro. You
It's
know.
all good.
yeah,
This journey with us. All of us.
that's what I said. The journey. So,
The journey. is another
All right,
step.
you guys. Well, this is us counting out for season 1. I'm your boy, Javi.
I'm Omega Green, of course.
I'm D-Lo.
We got Cha Cha always in the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in season 2.
We will see you soon.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.